In this section, we would understand parts of leaf, the arrangement of the leaves and venation, some of the quick things that you must remember as part of the concept map under leaf. So this is a new series that we are beginning with, and here we would be focusing only on the most important sections. So if we start beginning with the functions of leaf, there are two important functions, primary and secondary. Primary is making food, photosynthesis, gaseous exchange and protection of the buds. So those are the primary functions. Coming on to the secondary function, it is storage. Now storage, the function occurs separately in each of the plants. So some plants are succulents. Good example of succulent leaves are aloe vera. Then you have agave. Then comes spiny leaves. Opuntia, barberry are examples of spiny leaf. Sometimes leaf hooks are developed and those are for support. So leaf as support in the case of Doxantha. Dozantha is a good example of leaf support. Then we have nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation occurs in the leaf pitchers of nephthanes. Also reproduction, where vegetative reproduction is seen as in the case of Bryophyllum. So those are some of the secondary storage functions of the leaf. Now coming on to the structure of the leaf, the whole base of the leaf is known as the lamina. Then the corners are known as the margins. The main is the midrib, and from the midrib is the lateral veins that arise. So these are the lateral veins from the midrib, and the top is known as what is the leaf apex. At the point where it connects with the stem is the axillary bud and small spiny structure which is known as stipule. The portion which connects the leaf to the stem is what is known as petiole. In some cases, these petioles do not exist. So petiole is the stalk of the leaf. If the petiole does not exist, we call those as the sessile leaf. Clear? Now when it comes to the leaf base, it could be pulvinous, as in the case of pea. So in the case of pea, what happens with the leaf? The leaf has a swollen base which is usually seen in all the leguminous plants. So leguminous plants usually have pulvinous leaf base. There can be sheathing that occur in zymais. Sheathing is where the leaf base expands and covers the stem. So the stem is covered by the leaf base itself. Amplexicule is the case where the stem comes from between the leaves. So on all sides of it would be a leaf like a whorl, and from between would be the stem. We call it as polygonum. We also have another leaf base which is known as decurrent in Crotalaria. Decurrent is where the leaf base is when the petiole and the base both becomes broad and they continue for a distance along with the stem. So they become broad and they continue with the stem. So this is the stem and the leaf would go along with that. All these four, the examples are extremely important. You must remember these examples. Then comes the arrangement of the leaf. The arrangement of the leaf can be called as alternate or spiral arrangement, where from one end there is one leaf, another leaf, another leaf, another leaf. So each leaf originates from a different point, and this is commonly seen in mango trees, hibiscus. Two common examples for it. Then is the superimpose. That means both the leaves originate from the same point. We call this as opposite superposed. Now opposite superposed, good example is Quispalis. There is another which is known as opposite decussate. Opposite decussate is seen in Calotropis. And then is the whorl. Whorl means it surrounds whole of it. So the leaves are in all the direction. It's like a flower structure. This whorled arrangement is also known as verticillate arrangement, and it is seen in Ellistonia. So examples of each of these are important when it comes to leaf arrangement. Then comes the venation. Now there can be parallel venation. As you can see here, all the veins are running parallel. We call this as parallel venation. The other venation, as you can see, is broken somewhere and then broken again. So it does not have a fixed pattern. it mixes, merges, and we call it as a reticulate venation. Both reticulate and parallel venation can be of two types, which is known as pinnate and palmate. What is the difference? In pinnate, you have the main single vessel that extends from the petiole to the top of the leaf, and then there are secondary branches that comes out of it. We call this as pinnate. Pinnate is also known as unicostate. The next is palmate, which is known as multicostate. Palmate happens when in palmate there are several veins which arise from a common point where the leaf blade and the petiole unite. So from this point, as you can see, many base points arise, and this is an example of palmate venation. So in both reticulate and parallel, there can be pinnate or palmate arrangement. Now the examples of these venations are important. When I say reticulate venation with pinnate and palmate. Okay, so reticulate venation is usually found in dicots. The example where you have the pinnate is ficus, which is the fig plant, Ficus religosa, and palmate is a case where it is Ziziphus, which is the convergent, and Lupha, which is the divergent structure. In parallel venation, again we can classify it as pinnate and palmate. Now, parallel venations are commonly seen in monocot plants. Right? When there are monocot plants, we say that parallel venation in the pinnate structure occurs in banana. So it is from the midrib to the main stem, and then there are secondary venations which are parallel, as the big banana leaf you see. But palmate again can be of two types. In bamboo, it is called as convergent, and in Livistonia, it is divergent. So Ziziphus is convergent, Lupha is divergent. Similarly, bamboo is convergent. So I would write C here and D here, and C here and D here to make it clear. Okay. So Ziziphus and Lupha are examples of convergent and divergent palmate. Bamboo and Livistonia are examples of convergent and divergent palmate in parallel venation. So both of these in parallel or in reticulate venation is important. And then we also understand that reticulate occurs in dicots, parallel occurs in monocots. The examples of the various plants where these kinds of venations are found. So that's one of the common questions. Another common question which is asked is, what is the difference, like exceptions which are there? So that is what we would cover in a separate concept map class. So this was a quick revision of the basics of leaf arrangement, the venations in the arrangement, and parts of leaf.